Hey everyone, welcome to Holistic Lifestyle Tips, Getting Real About the Woo Woo. I'm Becky Russell, owner of wellness company Hope Essential, and I am a holistic lifestyle educator. And that's a mouthful, but what that means is I have been living a holistic lifestyle for over 25 years, and I feel it served me pretty well. And I just want to share what I've learned along the way. I do want to divulge, I don't have all the answers. I don't. But I am determined to keep learning and growing and sharing what I learn. So I want people to know they have choices. Holistic means treating from the entire body and from the inside out, and not just treating symptoms. So just a little bit about me. I am genetically predisposed to diabetes. And so in my 40s, it was a very real concern. And that's around the age that the other women in my family were diagnosed as diabetics type 2. So the fact that I am 61 and not on any daily prescriptions or don't even have an over-the-counter medication in my home, I am very happy about that. Now, am I completely healthy? No, but I have a pretty good quality of life. So I'm very happy, and I am determined to keep it that way. And so come with me. And so tonight we're going to talk about self-care, week number 15. Self-care is sort of a buzzword these days. And sometimes that's a bad thing because it's so over talked about that and hyped that we can tune out, or it can be so commercialized. It doesn't mean it has to be over the top. And it is super important. So probably we need a definition so we know what it actually means. It sounds self-explanatory, but I like this definition. It says, the mindful taking of time to pay attention to you, not in a self-absorbed way, but in a way that ensures that you are being taken care for by you. And when we don't do this, we risk compassion fatigue, burnout, all those kind of things. And since most of us can't just take 6 months off at a time to decompress, we have to do this on a daily basis, and not just once a year on a vacation, daily. And so I wonder if you ever noticed that you maybe tend to get sick either right before a big event you've been working toward, or you crash right after. And typically that's because you've pushed your body beyond its limits. And you know those limits, but you've ignored them. And so that there's a saying that if you don't take the time to take care of you, your body will choose that time for you. And it's usually not the best time. So why not be preventative and de-stress every day, take care of yourself every day? So one of the signs that you are in trouble, in my humble opinion, is if you hear yourself say, I just always put myself last, that's how I am. That is not a good thing. In fact, it is a very selfish thing to do. If you've ever flown, you've heard the flight attendant tell you, in case of turbulence or whatever, and the oxygen mask comes down, and you're traveling with a child, they tell you put the mask on yourself first. That goes against every instinct we have to protect a child. But in essence, if you think it through, if you do not do that, then you are passed out and you truly cannot help this child. You're leaving them helpless. So when you hear yourself say that I put myself last, it is a selfish thing to do, because not only do you deserve to have a healthy, full, joyful life, those you care about and care for deserve the best you. And you are not the best you when you are exhausted and sick. So look at it that way. It is not selfish to practice self-care. So, and it's always easier to practice prevention versus trying to then get well once your body crashes. And so I've found a list of 10 steps for self-care, and I just want to share that with you. It's from an article from Psychology Today, and it's Self-Care 101. And I agree with everything on here. So I'm going to just read through them real quick. Self-care means knowing who you are and your limits. Self-care means recognizing when you're doing more than you are used to handling and trying to figure out what can be done to slow down. Now, basically to me, that means delegate. And if you're a control freak, yeah, that's something I struggle with. That means you might have to lower your standards a little bit, and it'll be okay, I promise. It's something I've almost embraced now in many areas, not everything. Number 2, self-care means getting the sleep you need and knowing how to rest. The rest part, I'm still struggling with. The sleep, I'm really attacking that challenge right now. I've come up with a system where I have accountability partners, and I have a curfew, and every night I check in with them right before I head to bed. And if it's past that curfew, I'm going to feel guilty or stupid or whatever. So it's really motivating me to make that bedtime. Nothing else worked. So hopefully this is what's going to get me over that. I'm a natural night owl, and it's really been hard for me, but I'm going to figure it out, because sleep is so important. Not just sleep, but good sleep. And your body heals while you sleep, and your brain flushes out toxins as you sleep. So you are really putting yourself at risk if you do not get enough sleep. It's so important. Number 3, self-care means making sure you're well fed. If you know me at all, you know how much I believe in gut health and how important it is. 70 to 80% of your immune system is in your gut. If you are on a deadline and you are eating fast food and hyped up on caffeine and all that and not exercising, you think you're just going to push through it, but your body's going to rebel at some point. And so it is not a good thing. You've got to slow down to go fast and make your health a priority, more so than any other time. And if you ever listen to any hyper successful people like Tony Robbins or Rachel, Rachel Hollis, they make their workouts, eating healthy, a priority, and sleep. So they know what they're talking about too. Don't just listen to me. Okay. Self-care means finding a way to decompress throughout your day, not just when you leave work. I am not so good about this because I'm sort of a heads down person. But I don't really have a stressful job, so maybe that's okay. I don't know. But really, we should. I am learning to not overschedule my day. So I guess that's a form of that, because I was just really getting tired. So now I schedule little snippets of time in between appointments so that I'm not rushing. You can stretch on a break. You can call a friend maybe, on your way home from work, or, look at photos that have a special meaning, but your brain needs those pauses. So be aware of that. Number 5, self-care means giving some thought to changing a difficult work situation. If you have a difficult, challenging boss or coworker and they're driving you up the wall, you've got to work on your reaction. That's the only thing you can change. And then, or maybe it's just something like, I know at one point I was living in Dallas and a travel agent, and the traffic was horrible. So I asked if I could come in early and leave early. And that meant a little more work for me in the morning to get everything ready, but I didn't care. It was worth the trade-off. So they wouldn't have offered that to me, but it was important. I thought it was worth asking, and I was able to do that, and it was so much better. Number 6, self-care means taking time to get to know you better. It means learning to recognize your own temperament and trying to prepare for those personal limits. I am not a morning person. It makes no sense for me to schedule early morning appointments if I don't have to. So something like that, where whatever you can control, if you hate driving, don't take a job that requires that. Even if it's, you know, there's other perks, that stress is going to wear at you. So really be aware of what your triggers are for stress. Let's see, number 7, self-care means identifying what you enjoy doing and what's fun for you, and make a serious effort to integrate it into your day, or at the very least your week. I am a little guilty of not doing this just because my job I love and it's not super stressful, and B, I was raised that doing a good job is its own reward. But honestly, what can it hurt to have little rewards at the end of the day or the week for doing something that may be reaching a certain goal? You have to know you and know what motivates you and what fulfills you and makes you feel better. But I do know that when I do have things to look forward to, it's always more fun. Number 8, self-care means knowing how to decompress after a day's work. That might mean walking home from work to clear your head, driving in silence, or listening to, easy listening music or something. Just something to transition from work to home. Let's see. Number 9, self-care means feeding your spiritual self. That might take the form of meditating, praying, nature walk, taking the time to watch a sunset. I'm not going to say sunrise because that's not me, but a sunset I could take the time. And I do practice gratitude. I have a gratitude journal, and also at the end of every day, I note down 3 joy bombs, joyful things that happened. Number 10, finally, self-care means taking time to love yourself and appreciating that there's only one you, and you're the expert on that. So I would love to hear if anything resonated with you tonight. Did you hear anything new? Maybe something you saw yourself in that maybe you need to work on? It's very important to just be aware and then take some action. So I would love in the comments below, share how you practice self-care or what things you think you will put into your schedule now that you know some tips. So till next time, choose you, choose natural, choose now.